think what comes to mind that with what you were just saying is, by what standard do you feel like you're not those things? Like, what's your measuring rod? Is it what you're thinking you need to be? Like you said with Monty, you said that he desires from you, right? But other than that, what measuring rod do you have? Like, is this Natira saying, I need to be this, I need to be this? Or are your kids telling you, Mom, you're not being a good mom? Is your mom telling you you're not being a good daughter? I think sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves. And so that's why, like, if I ever get in a mode like that where I feel like I'm not measuring up, I'm like, okay, God, well, how do you see me?
Yeah.
Because I know my expectation of myself, but what are your expectations of me? Because if I'm putting all of this pressure on myself to be something that, like, I'm not measuring up to, is that really what I need to do? Or am I actually okay? And yeah, I need to work on this area and this area, but all these other things, I'm actually just adding on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So asking God, well, God, how do you see me? Because I see me as I ain't doing good right now. You know what I mean? You're not God. We got to let God be God. I think when we try to fill in all the gaps and holes that we see are just there, God is like, you going to leave room for me?
Ouch.
Right.
You gonna leave room for me?
Right.
So, Natira, you're not Superwoman. You're Natira. And you don't have to be Superwoman.
Perimenopause, y'all, for me, child. You know, I think around last summer, we discovered that that's what was going on. I remember standing in my front room of the house, and we were going somewhere, I guess. And the boys and I were just kind of milling around trying to get ourselves together. And all of a sudden, my whole body flushed with heat. And I just stood there and dropped my stuff and was like, this. And the boys was like looking at me like, Mom, are you okay? And I was like, my whole body just got hot. And it's like, oh, okay. Kept moving around. So that was like the first hot flash ever that I remember in my life. Mood swings, irritability, sometimes feeling anxious, sometimes feeling sad, and just out of, it's not really attached to anything. It's just kind of like, that's how I feel. I don't feel like this is something that I need to rebuke, it's a natural process. And if it started early, fine. God sees it, God knows, He knew, and He's here. So.
Love and sound mind. If you have a person who's been through trauma, their good condition of mind was going to be different from a child who did not experience the same type of trauma, or an adult who didn't experience the same trauma in their childhood. And I think we take that sound mind and think that it means the same thing for everybody. Right. And I just feel like we put everybody on the same field. It's not fair. It's just not a fair comparison. You can't compare someone who lost their father or someone who was abandoned by their father to someone who grew up with their father. You just can't. You can't expect her or him to have the same reactions to life as you would. And it's just we like to compare people that aren't on the same plane. Right. And that sound mind, we take it and we just generalize it.
One thing I'm learning to appreciate is discomfort or uncomfortable situations. Everything in life is not going to be easy or comfortable, right? There's going to be tension, and there's going to be times when you're just experiencing different emotions about different things. That's the saying about the elephant in the room, right? Yeah, we all know it's the elephant up here. It's over there, right? So let's not act like it ain't in here.
But you're good at that, though.
We'll see, but God is helping me with that.
Because you be the one, right,
I know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I like feeling uncomfortable, but it's a part of life. It's a part of growth. God is helping me to be okay in the discomfort. Yeah. And just walk through it. You know what I mean? Don't try to blink your eyes and try to, you're here and then try to get to the other side. No, go right on through it.
Yeah.
bad milk and puts
Put
it
it
back
back.
in the fridge. You be like, hold on. So now I'm pulling out the bad milk. Who gonna throw it away? Me. But that becomes how you start reacting to people from stuff that is left undone. And you know, all you said to me was, Natalia, what size shoe you wear? And I'm like, you don't got to worry about how big my feet are because you don't buy my shoes. But all you did was ask me what size. You know what I mean? Because maybe you had some shoes. Why? Right? The other people be looking like, what? Yo, what's wrong with your girl? Like, you need to talk to her.
Yeah.
No, she actually need to talk to a professional. So, you know, once you start pulling that stuff out, you really do learn. And I realized, okay, so this helps. All right, this helps me, helps everybody. This is good.
God has had to break me down to kind of like ground zero. To kind of like bring things to the surface, to unteach me the way that I was going, so that now he can lay proper foundation in the way that I should go.
Okay.
That's what I mean by ground zero.
Okay.
And it's had to do with my emotional, my mental and emotional health. So it's like he's had to rehab me in my thinking, right? And it's taught me my dependency on him. And in him teaching me or showing me my dependency on him, it has showed me just how lost or incapable I am without him. So if he can show me that about myself, then that's what I see about everybody else, which makes me see other people as I should, loving my neighbor as myself. So that when I see other people in their humanity and in their need, I don't it's harder for me to turn a blind eye.
Okay.
Which then conditions me well here to be available. Even if it's a sacrifice.
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah. Everybody doesn't need an explanation as to why you can't be generous.
Right.
If I tell you, no, not today, you don't necessarily need to know why.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And I think at times we feel like we need to give an explanation.
Feel obligated.
Definitely.
Yeah. We feel like we need to give one. And that's not always the case.
Right.
Now, some matters, you know, might need to explain a little bit why you can't, you know, be somewhere or do something. You know, especially maybe if you committed to it and now something changed. But every time doesn't call for an explanation. And I know for me, it feels lighter when I'm able to just say no and not give an explanation. But at the same time, there's still the kind of that, dag, like, I hope they don't think that, you know, now you're trying to think what they thinking because
Right.
I didn't give an explanation. But yeah, everybody doesn't need an explanation as to why. God knows that I'm ready for such testing and twisting. It's hard to come to that realization when you're in the middle of all this twisting and stretching and all of that because you don't feel ready.
Right.
But God knows you're ready. I have to trust that, okay, God, if you have me in this, I have to know that this is purposeful. I have to know that this is setting me up for something greater. But it's not easy. And I think if I'm not careful, I'll begin to call situations that are meant to grow me up, situations that shouldn't have happened. And God knows that I'm going to make mistakes. But since he knows that, I have to be settled in that. This is exactly where I am. And it feels like sometimes it feels like, okay, all right, I think it's done now.
You
And then something else would happen. I sent Nikki a picture a while back of remember the stretchy man toy? That's what I was feeling like.
Yeah.
I feel like I felt like I was being stretched on every side. And I'm like, God, I can't. And he's like, you can.
Right.
Because you're not doing it by yourself.
Right.
I'm with you.
I am the parent of 5 adult children now. You know, it's just a different place now because they are exercising their ability to be grown, and in particular when they are with their walk in Christ. That's concerning for me. And just that right there sometimes can be a scary place when you're like, what's feeding you? What are you feeding on? Who is surrounding you? Who's holding you accountable now? And those kinds of things. And so I have to rest in God and say, hey, you know, not resting and still trying to attempt to maneuver, manipulate, you know, ultimately is saying that I don't believe that God can bring them back or cover them or shield them as they're going out there and doing that. Unbelief isn't the lack of comprehension, it's the unwillingness to trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. It's the unwillingness to trust God and say, you know what, you love them more than me. You know, you got it. And so I have to do that on a daily basis.
It's something my therapist said, and she said everything isn't conflict. You know, like, so if it's a situation even where we need to correct someone, don't think of it as conflict.
Right.
It may not turn into anything more than, oh, wow, okay, I do that, or that happened and I didn't know, or dang, all right, thank you for letting me know. And that could be the end of it. But to kind of go into it every time as, oh shoot, you know, that's something that she's been helping me with, because I tend to have that mentality of, all right, so when we talk about this, how's this gonna go? You know? So she was just really letting me know, like, you can't look at every situation as this big just situation.
Right.
Like, don't go into it that way.
Hey y'all, Nicole Payne here with a quick talk around content from my book, Just Be Child. There's a story entry in here called Love Said Not So. And whenever I hear those words, I think of the famous BeBe and CeCe Winans song, Love Said Not So. And it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorites, and it actually reminds me of some memories from my childhood. But in this entry, I basically write about God's love and how the rawness of it works out so beautifully in the lives of those who are aware of it and receive it. And how it is a stabilizer, how it is a corrector, how it is a reminder, how it is empowering. God's love wakes you up. God's love reminds you that he's not expecting you to be perfect. But it's interesting that in the Bible, it talks about how God wants us to be perfected in love. It doesn't mean that he expects us to be without flaw, but it involves a receiving and a giving. Receiving his love that changes us internally, that we can give it to other people. In my mind, I envision like a revolving door, taking in and coming out, taking in and pouring out. But my favorite thing about his love, again, is that he is not requiring us to be perfect. Is that he takes us in our flaws and our humanity, and he perfects the divine part inside of us so that we can reflect him still being imperfect. Only God can do that in his awesomeness. So whenever God reminds us that love said not so, it would be good if our question back to him is, well then God, what does love say? I love it, y'all, and I love God. The book's on Amazon.com. Please like, subscribe to, comment on, and share the channel. Thank y'all. Bye. Hey y'all, Nicole Payne here with a quick talk around really the theme of my book, Just Be Child. A woman in a new women's Bible study group that I recently joined said today, and she said that somebody told her this, a woman told her this, we may not have all of the time to do all of the things on our to-do list. However, we do have all the time to do God's will for us today. That helps somebody like me who likes to make to-do lists and who likes to check things off, to make myself feel accomplished, to make myself feel like I have been productive. And that really put things into quick perspective for me. And really, when I thought about it, that's really what I talk about in my book. Just being who we've been created to be by God, just doing what we've been created to do by God. The book's on Amazon.com. Please like, subscribe to, comment on, and share the channel. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Hey, y'all. Nicole Payne here with a quick talk around content from my book, Just Be Child. In an entry called New Wine, I write about some men in my church who have been examples of what it looks like to be a man with an earnest heart for God. I've seen them cry tears in prayer in front of the whole church. I've heard them go hoarse, crying after God, shouting in prayer to God, leading the whole church. I've seen them fall to their knees and worship and weep before God. I've seen my husband cry in response to different things regarding life and love and God, the people he cares about. I've seen my father cry about life, about our love relationship, about things close to his heart. And all of these examples of these men say to me that a man expresses emotion and isn't afraid to. A man has emotion to express. And the most important thing is these men in my life, I've seen them express their cares and concerns and life things to God. I guess what I'm saying is seeing these examples in men have helped to shape a healthy perspective of what it looks like to be a healthy man. And I'm grateful for these things that I've seen in the men close to me. And as a woman, I'm appreciative of how it has helped to develop me. I was telling my dad that I hope he's proud of the achievements that he's made in life, some of them which he put on hold for a long time to raise me and to love me and to support me as his daughter. So there you have it. The book is on Amazon.com. Please like, subscribe to, comment on, and share the channel. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Hey, y'all. Nicole Payne here with a quick talk around content from my book, Just Be Child. Today I want to share a quick quote from an entry called Inside Out, where I quote Mary Jo Pierce, who said, "We all have our own stories, each of us drawn by the Spirit in a unique way to the same place of understanding. God loves me." And in the book of Ephesians in the Bible, it says, "And may you have the power to understand, as all God's people should, how wide, how long, how high, and how deep his love is." God is love, not other people's opinions. He's the same God who made us, who knows we're flawed, and who sent Jesus Christ to serve as a sacrifice so that we can have a relationship with him. And what I need y'all to know is that we do not have to clean ourselves up to receive the love of God. So I encourage you to push into his love and see what happens. Books on Amazon.com. Please like, subscribe to, comment on, and share the channel. Thanks, y'all. Bye.